Hello, friends and artists in fourth grade. Welcome back to art class. Last week in art, you reviewed lines and shapes and practiced some lines and some shapes in your journal. And today in the slideshows, you've gone over those lines and shapes. You've taken a look at the amazing architecture of the fabulous architect, Mr. Paul R. Williams, and had some fun, hopefully, taking a look at a cartoon from the 1960s called The Jetsons. So the Jetsons was made by the same people as the Flintstones, and but instead of being focused on a prehistoric city, it was focused on a futuristic city. And well, the cool thing about the Jetsons is a lot of the things that were imagined in the Jetsons, like talking on a phone and seeing the person's face or ordering food through a screen, those are things that we can actually do now thanks to the creative minds of the people in the Jetsons. Um, so we're going to be doing a mashup of Paul Williams and the Jetsons and using our knowledge of shape, organic and geometric, and line to create our own image of what we think a future city would look like. So I've asked you to get a thicker piece of blank paper, and that can be, if you have art paper at home, that could be a piece of art paper. If you don't have art paper at home, a really great substitute is a paper bag from the grocery store. So you could use that. I'm just going to go ahead and write my name on the back because hopefully you'll be bringing these back to me at school soon. So I wrote my name on the back, and I'll write my name on the back of this one. When you get to school, we'll talk about what your code is. Don't worry about that right now. And I've asked you for today to have a pencil and a marker. So we're going to be drawing it first in pencil. You can make any mistakes kind of that you want to, but remember that when you go over it with a marker or a crayon, a black crayon, that your line from your marker will be much thicker. So try to draw big with your pencil. So I'm imagining a future city, and I just kind of want to start thinking about some of the shapes that I might see. I was thinking about the Jetsons, so maybe it's, kind of an organic shape. And I love how the Jetsons moved through. It's difficult for you guys to see this on brown. Maybe I'll do it on the white. I loved how the Jetsons moved through their town in like cars that drove in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my buildings up in the sky kind of like theirs did too. So today I'm just adding some unusual futuristic shapes. Next we and some lines. So maybe you want it like a kind of a curved line coming down. It's like a spacecraft. I love how Paul Williams used these kind of arc shapes. So maybe I'll add something like that to it. Now it looks like a hat. Never know what things might look like, and maybe this is kind of a diagonal one. So I'm just going to kind of fill in some buildings. That looks like somebody's face. All of my buildings are kind of right now a little symmetrical, but maybe I will change and make an asymmetrical building. Maybe this looks like a tongue. And if you're interested in making your buildings, ooh, a little zigzag line coming down. If you're interested in making your buildings more three-dimensional, you can certainly add an element of three-dimensional to it, add a side and top. Maybe I'll squeeze one more in here. Maybe it's a... So I'm kind of using a combination of organic and geometric shapes. Definitely more organic, I think, than geometric. That just feels a little bit more futuristic to me. So in each one, I kind of drew a shape and then connected it somehow to the ground. What I want to do when I'm done is add a horizon line. It could be a straight horizon line behind my buildings. It could be a wavy horizon line like mountains. I think in one of the pictures I saw the Jetsons, they kind of imagined so there's my horizon line, and maybe even I have another horizontal line underneath that to show that they're mountains. It makes it look really far away. Now, your art does not have to look like my art. Your art needs to look like your art. You are focusing on designing a cityscape for the future, inspired by the amazing architect Paul Williams and the Jetsons. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Jetsons on YouTube or Vimeo, check it out. You'll see what I mean. They imagined a lot of different things. One of my favorite things, I have a dog. Her name is Maya. And I do love walking her every day, but someday when it's raining, I wish I had one of those inventions that the Jetsons had, which was just like a little treadmill that would go outside, and then they'd put the dog on the treadmill and the dog would run on the treadmill. So that would be a fun invention to have. If you wanted to add like a spaceship or a car moving through the sky, you certainly could do that. Maybe I'll do that right now. I love their little... They all look like little spaceships. And maybe I'll add some lines for movement. So that was super Jetsons inspired. Maybe I even add a moon in the sky, or a moon and a sun. Don't know, futuristic space city. So have fun with this, friends. Please don't worry about being perfect. And don't add any details. We're going to add details and color next week, like windows and maybe doors and anything like that. But enjoy this. Have fun with this. Use your knowledge of organic and geometric shapes and all of your good line knowledge. And I can't wait to see what you make. Happy art making, friends.